So hello, this is Strength and Balance. Today we probably will make some yoga and Pilates. We need a band. And I have my blankets when we will be on our back. If you need a blanket for your back or for your head, you can prepare that too. So a long band, by the way, long resistance band, and your two massage balls. And actually, let's take also a block, because we're going to start by sitting on the floor. And I like to sit on a block. And if this is not something you like to do, to sit on the floor, you can also sit on a chair, but that's fine too. Good. I'm just doing some little adjustment here. So crossing your legs if you are on the floor, sitting on the block. So it helps to keep your hips more elevated than your knees. You don't want to have your knees up this way because it's not really good for your back. If we keep doing this over and over, we'll feel some pain in the back, and sometimes we don't know where the pain comes from just by doing those little bad habits that we have that may not be good for the back. And again, if you're on a chair, your feet are flat. Make sure they're flat on the floor, or maybe on two blocks if the chair is too high. And you want to have your heels under your knees and knees aligned with your hips, so a little bit lower than your knees a little bit lower than your hips. So here, let's center as if we're in our yoga practice. It's always nice to center for any forms of exercise, just to transition from what we did before. You rejoice on taking the time for yourself. You create the space, you're creating that space on your mat, preparing your props, maybe putting some music on if you want. And your position, you want to make sure you are on your sitting bones. So for some of us, you may need to do a little posterior tilt, like you're tucking of the pelvis. So you are feeling more your sitting bones, and you're feeling also you're stacking everything. So your ears will be above your shoulders above your hips. And obviously your hips, the hips that are here on the side of the hips, also feel they're stacked right above your sitting bones. Tuck your chin in, relax your shoulders. So even though this is not a typical yoga class, we are still paying attention to the breathing. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your arms to your side. Let's move more with the breathing. Turn your palms so they face up. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, push your palms down, bring your arms down. You can keep your eyes closed for now. Inhale. Exhale, push your palms away. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now you're going to bring your hands in front of your heart. Push your hands. So your thumb's going to be pressed against the center of your chest. Push your hands towards one another and bring your elbows to the sides. And sometimes we don't need to use weights to really activate the muscles and to tone the muscles. So here, just push your hands towards one another and relax a little bit. So you can see that probably in my arms. When I push, my arms lift, my upper arms lift a little bit. And when I relax, my arms go down just a bit. So it's just the muscles that are lifting and relaxing. And this is actually good for the pectoral minors. You may feel it right here at the front of the shoulders, the bottom part, under the arms too. Push. Keep pushing. Make sure you're not creeping the shoulders. So relax the shoulders. You really want to use the proper muscles, not the upper trap right here. They're called the pectoral minors. Now keep pushing your hands towards one another and bring your hands. So I'm gonna mirror you. You're probably facing me. And bring your hands to the right and turn your head to the left. And make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Keep pushing your hands towards one another so you feel more sensations on the right side of the chest, maybe the right side of the neck. Bring your head and your hands back to center. Again, make sure you're in your nice position, sitting nice and tall. Push your hands, inhale. And as you exhale and bring your hands to the sides, turn your head to the opposite side. So now your hands should be towards your left side of your chest and you're turning your head to the right. Make sure you're still on your sitting bones. You're not sagging into your lower abdomen. The belly is still always a little bit tight. And bring your head and your hands back to center. Release your hands and shake your arms. You may have felt that a little bit in the wrist, so you can circle your wrist and one way, the other way. And let's change the cross of our legs. So if you're sitting on the chair, don't do anything. You're just staying like that. Now open your arms. And again, showing you that sometimes we use weights, sometimes we don't need weights because we are, we have our body as a weight. We're going to make little circles. I'm opening my fingers wide. Again, shoulders relax and you are on your sitting bones. Make sure you're not leaning forward nor back. Making those little circles on the sides. Tuck your chin in a little bit. Your ears are above your shoulders. Keep going until we want to go a little bit longer so we can start to feel it. The arms are getting tired. That's okay. Just go with it. And then just stop. Reach your hands in opposite directions and reverse. Reverse the circles. Oh, I'm feeling my arms now. Good. It's all good. Keep your arms parallel to the floor. A little bit longer, just a little bit. And then reach your arms. And release your arms down. You probably feel your arms very warm now. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Good. Move a little bit. Your shoulders. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Draw your knuckles down. Lift your chest a bit. So I'm not bringing my arms too far away from my back. I'm just reaching my knuckles down. Tuck the chin in. Maybe lift your chest a little bit more by squeezing the shoulder blades more into your back. And here, take a deep breath in. And exhale, release. Let's come off our block. So if you are on the chair, come to join us sitting. So I'm going to show you 3/4 of the way. Actually, forward. Bring your legs straight. Bring your legs straight in front of you. Flex your feet. Let's focus on our feet. You're in that pose in yoga called Dandasana or staff pose. Your wrist can be by your side, fingers pointing forward or a little bit to the side if it's easier for your shoulders. Push a little bit your hands. So you feel your side body is long. Bring your shoulders back. Now you're going to point your toes and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. Going a little bit fast because it feels like you see I'm getting a little rock in my legs. Also, I'm feeling also a little rock in my back. That feels good. Make sure your ears are back again. And then here, let's do some footwork. You're going to point your toes. Keep your heels together, bring your toes apart. So probably here you'll see better. I'm doing this way. I'm going to face you actually like that. So you point and then you open, but your heels stay together. You bring your toes up, bring your feet back together. So your heels always stay touched together. And let's repeat. Point, open, like making like a V shape with your feet. Heels up and together. Point, open, up, together. Point, open, up, together. Point, open, together. And then before we go to the other side, if you feel any pressure on your lower back, sit on the blanket and you can still sit on the block. Now you're gonna open. So you open, your feet are still up, you open into a V. Now you bring your feet down, you're still into that V. Bring your feet together and back up. Open, so open into a V. Keep that V, bring your feet down, feet together and up. Open. So when you're doing that, you probably feel all the way into your quads. I'll show you even footwork, it's good for the legs. Good for obviously, your toes, your ankle mobility. All right, one more, open, down, close the V, and together. Give a little shake in your legs. And let's come now, actually, let's do more of a stretch because I feel like we need that. So move your legs side to side like that, little windshield wiper of the legs. And let's come to our hands and knees. All right. In our hands and knees, you want your wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. If your knees are not comfortable here, place a blanket. That's why we have them ready by our side. Also, place the blanket for under your knees. If you still have any difficulties to be on your hands and knees, you can do the same with your hands on a chair. So try to keep your back a little bit more neutral. So keep the belly in, shoulders away from your ears. And let's make sure you have nothing behind you. Bring the right leg back behind you. Then you're going to bend the knee, flex the foot. Imagine you have a little ink, a little stamp attached to your heel, and you want to stamp the ceiling with it. So it's a little pulse on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now keep the knee up, extend the leg, point the toe, flex the foot, and bend the leg again. Point, extend, flex, bend the knee. Point, flex. Point when you extend, and you flex when you're about to bend the knee. Keep the belly tight. Make sure the weight of your body is even on both hands. Make sure you're not leaning towards your left hip. Try to be even, as if your right knee was still on the floor. Now, next time your leg is straight, we're going to stay a little bit longer here. You're going to bring the leg to the right, lift it up, and bring the leg to the left. Imagine you're tracing like a rainbow. Up to the left, lift the leg. You don't have to lift the leg too high. Bring the leg to the right. Make sure your arms are straight. Press your finger pads where your nails are. behind your nails, more on the floor. And if you're feeling a lot of pressure on your wrist, you can do the same on your forearms like this. One more on the right. Lift the foot on, then tap on the left side. Bring your leg back straight, parallel to the floor. And then to finish, bring your left arm forward. Now, spinal balance. Ribs are in, belly is in. You feel strong in your back, strong in your balance. Inhale. And when you exhale, bring the hand down, bring the knee down. And just, you might want to move actually your knees so you don't feel like they're digging into your blanket or the mat. And move your hips side to side. I kind of like to sway my hips after that. You can also come to child's pose, and you can come to join me if you want. Again, child's pose is not comfortable. If you are still standing and your hands were on the chair, you're doing the same thing. Maybe just by stretching back, stretching the hips back, like doing a downward dog, but on the chair. Now come back to your hands and knees, and we're going to do the other leg. So just readjust your knees so they're under your hips, and readjust your wrist. And remember, if your wrists are sensitive or even shoulders, come onto your forearms instead. And sometimes with tendency to drop our head, by the way, so keep the head up, tuck your chin in. You're looking a little bit past your hands. Bring the left leg back. The leg is parallel to the floor. Now you're going to bend the knee. Again, trying to have your foot parallel to the ceiling so you can tag the ceiling. 1, you pulse up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Extend the leg and you bend. So extend, you point your foot, flex. And I realize that if you're on the chair standing, obviously it will be much harder to have your foot parallel to the floor when we're doing those movements, when you're bending the knee. But you bend the knee by flexing the foot, and then point, extend the leg. Flex. Sometimes it's hard to do it and say it at the same time. Yeah, it's good for my brain. Make sure you're even on both hands. You're not leaning to your right side, so readjust if you need. Point the foot when your leg is straight. I keep forgetting. Flex, point, flex, point, flex. And you're going to point again, keep the leg straight. Bring the leg to the left. Doesn't have to be too high, just outside of the mat. Lift it up and bring the leg to the right. And repeat. Making a little half circle. You have a little dome and behind your back, and you're tracing the top of your foot on that dome. On that maybe a rainbow, yes. Keep breathing. You can inhale when you're lifting the leg, exhale when the leg is on the other side. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Keep the belly tight also. All right, next time, now your leg is straight. Keep it there. Bring your right arm forward for your spinal balance, your bird dog, your tricky cat pose. This pose has many names. And bring the hand down, bring the knee down. And just moving my knees up off the floor and moving my hips side to side. And you can also come now onto your shins and shake your hands. So even if you're standing, come up to stand completely and shake your hands, shake your wrist. You may have felt that a little bit. Circle your wrists. And the other way. So hands back. So on the chair, just sit back, press back. If you're on your mat, just like I am, you can just come to your child's pose. Let's come up. So I'm going to come to downward facing dog. You can skip that part. You can just come to stand any way you want. So I'm going to come in downward, come up in more yogi style. So downward facing dog, kind of like downward dog because it helps to loosen any tensions in the legs, especially for what we just did, those donkey kicks we did. Again, your downward dog, you have your hands on a chair, pushing your hips back, and you still make the same movements with your legs, or even your hands against a wall. And then from here, you're just gonna walk your hands back to your feet. And we can all be in our forward fold. Come halfway up, hands on your hips, tuck your chin in, inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, arms to your sides. So here we are standing. And palms facing forward. Make sure your feet are paired to one another. And take a deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach your arms up, just like we did when we're sitting. Exhale, push your palms out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale. Exhale. Place your hands now on your hips. Let's focus on the shoulders. Bring your elbows back, not too far back. So you just want to feel that you're kind of pushing the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together. They don't have to touch though. And bring your arms back to the center. So as you're doing that, make sure your hips are not forward. You keep your hips leveled. Again, ears are back. Inhale, pushing your arms back. Exhale, arms back where they started on the sides. Now place your hands on the shoulders. Same thing, elbows lifting. Bring your arms back and back to where you started, back. So you feel probably the mobility of the upper back is not the same. We don't feel the same movements when our hands were here. It feels easier here. And now place your hands behind your head pushing into your hands. Make sure your head doesn't go forward. Keep pushing your head back, bring your elbows back just a bit. I know it's harder here. Bring your arms back where they started. Elbows back. And then bring your arms up, hands together. And this is a nice, so again, to show you, just like we did this earlier, those movements, or even here, we don't really need weights all the time. This is a great exercise for triceps. So your hand's gonna be up, arms. So if it really don't feel comfortable for your neck or your shoulders, I would say just do this type of movements up and down like that, okay? It's a little bit different of muscles activation, but at least it's good because you are doing something. So if you can join me by lifting your arms, go ahead and do that. Really trying to keep your hands together, arms straight this time. Then you're gonna bend the elbows like you're pointing your fingers down towards the back of your back body, and then bring your arms back up. And I'm gonna try to keep my hands really pressed towards one another at all times. So obviously when the arms are up, we start to pop the ribs. We don't want to do that. So keep the ribs back. This is not a back bend. We are focusing on the upper back and especially also on the triceps. Ears are back. So I know when the hands go down, we want to move our head. You don't have to. It's okay if your hands are touching your head. You're pushing your hands. I know now you should feel the tricep right here. This is where we want to feel it. All right, let's do 2 more. Extend the arms, extend the arms, extend the arms, extend the arms, and release. All right, shake it off. All right, talking about shaking off, shake one arm. Just shake, shake, shake. Imagine you have like dust, anything that you don't want, shake it off. Shake it off your arm. And then do the other one. And do the leg, one leg. And really shake from your foot all the way. You should feel even your thigh trembling, shaking, not trembling. And the other leg. He's grabbing my foot. And then, good. All right, deep breath in. And exhale. And inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, release your arms down. All right, before we add on with some little bit of a cardio, let's come to a forward bend to stretch the back of the body. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinge at your hips and come down. Bring your hands on your lower legs. You can bring your hands further down if you want. You can come a little bit higher up. It all depends how you want to come down. Anything going on in your back, maybe keep your back more neutral. Make sure you're not rounding your back. If you're comfortable to round your back and to fold over your legs, you're welcome to that. And then either way, just bring the weight of your body more towards your toes, but relax your toes. Keep your heels grounded. And you want to feel a good stretch in your hamstring. Your knees can stay a little bit bent. And then if you are really low, come halfway up. Place your hands on your hips, elbows pointing up. And push through your heels to come to stand. And release your arms to your sides. And again, palms facing forward, recenter this way. Inhale. And exhale. You can close your eyes. Inhale. And exhale. And let's start to do a little bit of a marching. This is going to be part of a small cardio. And add the arms. Then the arms are up. The heart is beating faster. You can move your arms faster if you want. You don't have to move your knees faster, but I'm moving my arms faster. Again, what I'm doing, you can make it much slower if you want. You don't have to lift your knees super high. You can just do like this. And actually, we can practice this in slow motion. Let's do it together, slow motion, as if, there was all of a sudden the picture, the video was in slow motion. And you'll feel, using more the muscles here. And then here, all of a sudden, the video is back to normal. Maybe you want to go a little bit faster, making air with the arms. And maybe you need, now I prefer to go into my slow motions where you can be there. And whatever different mode you're in, fast or slow. Good, and just shake it off. All right, deep breath in. And exhale. Now, let's come to the end of our mat. So slow it down like cardio, and then we'll go back to it. Imagine actually you could have a strap, a yoga strap, but I'll trust that you can find something in the middle. You don't have to be on your mat. Actually, you can use the edge of the mat. My mat is quite thick because I have 2 mats Let me try to do that, but it feels a little bit uneven. Or if you have a rug or a floor with tiles, and you can follow the seam of the tiles, actually it's better that you do that. I'm going to be in the end, the middle of the mat, so obviously I'm still on the screen. And all we need to do is we walk the line. So you have your left foot to the center on that line, imaginary line, again, lines of the tiles or rug. Bring your right foot right in front. Bring your arms this way, like you're hugging a tree. Your elbows, I'll show you to the side. Elbows lifted, fingers touch. And you're going to try to keep your hands this way at the same time you're working under the arms. And let's start. So I was saying, you bring your right heel in front of your left big toe. You lift your left foot and then you step forward right in front. So even touching your left heel against the right big toe. And you keep going this way. Look straight ahead. Don't look at your feet. You know where your feet are. Relax the shoulders. Imagine you are walking on a tightrope. You will need to breathe. So once you're off your mat, you're going to reverse. So for me, my right foot's going to go back. So you're walking on the line back, left foot back. And sometimes I feel I'm right on the edge of my foot. So I'm really trying to press my left foot. The four corners of the foot is pressing down once the foot is on the floor. You can bend a little bit the knees, by the way, because when we're walking, we don't have straight legs, straight knees. I'm walking all the way to the end of the mat, and I'm off the mat. Come back so your feet are parallel to one another and release your arms. Roll your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Fine. So we're going to do right away the thing with the arms, something else with the arms. You can skip that part if it's tricky. So your arm's going to be into a U, like that. And back to the end of your mat. So remember we did one knee lift. Bring the right knee up. You're going to rotate your torso. I'm not going to try to touch my elbow to the knee. It's not the idea. It's just to rotate. So I'm going to show you here on as if I would start my line. You're here and you rotate a little bit. Whoop, losing my balance because I'm looking at the shadow here. So that's the rotation. I'm not moving my knee. I'm showing you again forward. I'm not doing this. Okay, lift and rotate. So what's moving? It's the midsection of your torso. And then you're gonna, when you're here, a couple parts here, bear with me. You lift the right knee, you rotate, you unrotate, but you bring your right foot in front across. So your legs will be crossed. Okay, and then bring your left knee up, hold here, rotate. So you rotate your torso to your left and bring your left foot down across. So your legs are crossed. You see my left foot is a little bit more forward, but on the other side of my right foot. And then we keep going this way. Lift, start to lift slowly. Talking about slow motion, that's what we're doing here. Bring your right knee up. Rotate your torso to the right. Back to torso to center. Bring the right foot down. And bring your left foot up first. Then you rotate your torso to the right. To the left, sorry. Torso to the left. And torso to center. Place the left foot down. Bring the right knee up. Rotate your torso to the right. Back to center and bring the foot down. Let's do one more with the left. The left foot up. Hold here. Rotate your torso to your left. So torso back to center, bring the left foot down. You're gonna keep your legs this way. So your legs are crossed. I have my left leg in front of my right. Hands on your hips, squeeze your legs, inhale, exhale, hinge at your hips and come down. So you're getting a good stretch in the back of the right leg here. Again, you don't have to come down too far to feel it. Tuck your chin in. I guess you can go a little bit lower, rounding your back and dropping your head if it's comfortable, but I'm keeping my back more neutral. I'm tucking the chin in as much as I can. Open your arms to the sides. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, you're going to bring your left leg back. Now your legs are crossed the other way. Your right leg is in front. Lots of bouncing today. Good. Hands on your hips. Belly is tight. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips. You can slide your hands down or you can keep your hands on your hips. Again, you can round your back over your legs if you want. Tuck the chin a little bit in. Keep the belly in. Keep pushing through your feet. So even your left foot is pushing down. And then inhale, come all the way up to stand. And exhale, you just relax here. Shake your arms, shake your legs. And again, do like we did earlier. You can shake one arm, the other arm, or both arms at the same time. And shake one leg, obviously, at a time. Good. Just pause here. Go back to the breathing. Sometimes when we do a lot of bouncing pose, we forget to breathe. Just pause right here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, let's go back to some cardio. So let's go back to our marching. March. Let's focus on just the legs. And then start to march this way, knees out. And then once you're here, let's slow down this marching. A little bit further down. You're just doing a little bit. And start to go like this. Now my legs are straight. It makes me think of some kind of a puppet, marionette. Even arms straight. You're working actually more on the abductors when you're doing that, on the side of the thighs. Slow down this, open your knees, and let's come to our goddess pose and down. And let's do this, open. So this, sometimes we do that with weights, but you reach and grab back. Reach and grab. You reach for something and grab back. In your goddess pose, make sure you're not doing too far out this way. You're trying to go straight down. Good. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale with the mouth. Stay here and you're going to go across, across, across. So I'm staying in my goddess pose, that's white sumo squat. Now the way to say it. And then maybe reach across and up, up, up. So it's really good for the back. You're feeling your back muscles here. Try to stay a little bit lower into your goddess pose. Breathe, breathe, and let's go back, reach across. One more on the right, one more on the left, and come back. All right, shake, shake, shake your legs. March again. And then start to kick your heels back. And then here, step touch, arms up. I'm trying to do different things for cardio. A little bit lower. You step touch and squat. Again, you can just do this, or even keeping your arms parallel to the floor like that. Or you go a little bit lower and reach up. And I'm always like grabbing something. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. Opening my fingers, grabbing something, bring it back. So feels like it's more of a toning of the arms here. Deep breathing. All right, step touch. And start to kick your heels back. And this is when we're going to do this. We tap the heel, tap. Opposite foot to opposite heel, opposite hand, sorry, to opposite heel. And if you want to go more, you add the arm. So the opposite arm goes, same side arms goes up, and the opposite hands touching the opposite heel. And this is one of my favorite lately that I've seen on someone else's video. And I'm going to start to turn. A great yoga teacher. She teaches a little bit of everything. Her name is Allison. She's a lovely person. She's fun. I'll go a circle around. I thought it's so good for the brain. And then let's reverse the circles. I did about 2 circles. Depends how fast you go. And then come back. All right, step touched. This was our cardio. Let's go down your step touch. Move your shoulders, your arms at the same time. Deep breath in. And exhale. So just come to your mountain pose. Palms facing forward. Inhale. Exhale. You may feel your heart beating a little bit faster. Listen to your heart. Let's take the band. Not doing a lot with the band today, but we're still going to use it. And obviously, I like to work on the arms and at the same time playing with our bands. So just like we've been doing earlier, lift the right knee up, bounce this way. Take the band in front of you, hands a little bit wider than your shoulders. Reach your arms up and step the foot back. Not the bend. Step the right foot back. Your right knee can be a little bit bent so you can keep your torso lifted. All right, now you're going to bring your arms in front of you. And you're going to open into a diagonal. So I'm going to bring my right hand down a little bit, left arm up. And then you open. So your right hand is going to go by your right leg. Left arm is going to be higher than your head. And come back. So this is not comfortable. Make the diagonal less. You can just move a little bit like this. Or open your arms wide. And breathe. So let's say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Now bring your arms, so your arms are parallel to the floor, the band is parallel to the floor. Reach your arms up and step forward. And then lower your arms down. Good, roll your shoulders. Shake your legs if you need. And before we go to the other side, let's go back to the breath. Inhale. Exhale. That's the most important things that you're doing, guys, to pay attention to the breathing and just make sure you're with it. Make sure you're not out of breath. Bring the left knee up. Bounce here. Bring your arms up. The band is always tight, always taut. Relax the shoulders. Bring the left leg back. Coming to your high lunge. You know your high lunge, the back heel doesn't touch the floor. You can always keep a little bent in the knee like I'm doing, so your torso is more upright. And bring your arms in front of you. Now you're going to start to go into that diagonal. So left hand's going to go down, right arm's going to go up a bit, and then you bring your hands away from each other, and you bring your hands back. This is 2, 3, 4. You try to keep the ribs and bellies in. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring your arms in front and arms up and step forward. And then for here, just come to your like regular standing mountain pose. Your arms are still up. Bring your arms a little bit behind. They don't have to go all the way down. You can just be here and back up. And make sure your head is not forward. So tuck your chin in. Keep your ears above your shoulders. So arms start here, then up, back as far as it feels comfortable. Make sure you're not bending the arms. Try to keep your arms straight. It's nice. I prefer doing that with the band than the yoga strap, because the band has elasticity, so it's easier to actually to open the arms. You have more space. Ribs are in. Keep a little bent in the knees. Make sure you inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms behind you. Inhale, arms up, arms down. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. All right, let's go. Let go of the band. Shake your arms. Roll your shoulders. Shake, shake, shake your arms. And we're going to go back down on the mat. You can come down, lie down the way you want. I'm going to do it more like yogi style, but coming to the end of the mat. Something actually I do in Pilates also. Feet parallel to one another. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, either round your back if you're used to Pilates, or hinge at your hips more in like we do in yoga. Hinge at your hips, reach, 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 reach forward, and bend your knees. Bring your fingers down, walk up, and let's try to do a plank pose. Just one plank pose. So plank pose is not a good idea for you. You have your hands on your chair and you're stepping your feet back. And you're trying to have either way on the floor or on a chair, your shoulders should be above your wrists. All right, take a deep breath in and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, and let's come to a quick and nice child's pose. And come to lie down on your back. So you'll need the 2 balls. And let's actually use a band. So once you're on your back, go ahead, do that. You're going to take your band, bend your knees. And you're going to have the band at the hip crease. So where's the hip crease is where your thighs and hip hips meet in front. Like the fold of your pants. If you're bending your knees, there's a fold. That's where you place the band. Your hand's going to hold the band, of course, but your hand's going to be on the floor. Open the front of the shoulders. Again, your knees are bent, your feet are flat on the floor. And we're going to come to some bridge like this. Push your hands down. Inhale, lift your hips. You see there's a little bit more of a resistance because you have the bend. Exhale, lower your hips down, barely touching the floor. Inhale, up. Exhale. Inhale with the nose. Exhale with the mouth, like you're blowing through a straw. Inhale. Push your feet to the floor. Squeeze a little bit your glutes and down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale down. Let's do one more and we'll pulse up. Inhale. Stay here and little pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. Bring your hips down. Let go of the band. And you can bring your knees to your chest. Hug your knees. Place your legs into butterfly, supine butterfly. Bring the soles of the feet together. Arms down to your sides. We push your feet towards one another. And we're going to do those butterfly bridge. So inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, lower your hips down, barely touching the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Keep going, lifting the hips, squeeze, squeeze. Do you notice if you're lifting more with one leg? Try to press your feet. And don't open your legs by too much in that beautiful butterfly you may do in a more in a relaxing or yin class. You have your knees, by the way, I forgot to tell you that your knees are a little bit hard up and then you push because I want you to use more also your glutes to lift. And lower your hips down. So adding on, if you feel, wow, this was not too bad, we're gonna do something else. If you feel this was enough, you keep going, keep your feet this way. Otherwise, you can slide your feet further away, just a bit. So your legs probably, if you would be looking up, they will be more like into a diamond shape. And then you're gonna lift up and notice. So you notice when you lift, you wobble more, you lean more with one leg. So press your feet towards one another and then lift, trying to lift in one block and down, up and down. Again, you may notice that one leg wants to take charge. Try to keep pushing your feet evenly. Tuck your chin in, relax the shoulders. Let's do 2 more. That's it. And lower your hips all the way down. Bring your knees together. You may have felt that in your inner thighs too. Bring your legs together and rock side to side. Place your feet on the floor. You're gonna take your 2 balls. If you don't have 2 balls, you place a roll towel or roll blanket under your hips, and same thing with the balls. You place them under your hips. We're keeping the left knee bent for now. Bring the right knee to your chest and bring the right leg up to the ceiling. Now you can have your left leg a little bit more straight if you want, but I'm gonna keep it a little bit bent. You're gonna point your right foot Arms by your sides, palms facing down, and make sure you're opening the front of the shoulders. And you're gonna start to do some leg circles. So you bring the foot or your leg to the left and down, right and center. Inhale, left, exhale, right and center. You want to make sure that your left leg is not moving too much. And this time here, trying to keep your right leg straight as much as you can. Come back to center and reverse the direction. Making small circle. That's it. I'm placing actually my left hand on my left leg. So just to make sure that I'm not leading with the left leg, I should lead with the core and the right leg. Now bring the leg back to center and just do a little windshield wiper with the leg. Bring the leg a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left, right and left. Bring the knee to the chest, hug your knee close to your chest. Bring the foot down and bring the left knee up. Bring the left leg up to the ceiling, point your left foot. Now your right leg is gonna be in same position you had for the left leg on the other side. Okay, hands down. Make sure the left leg is very long, like an arrow, very straight, and bring the leg a little bit to the right, a little bit down to the left and center. Inhale, exhale. Sometimes when we go too far down, especially we have the balls underneath, we even feeling that shoulders, the opposite shoulder is lifting. So try not to do that. Try to keep your shoulders anchored. You want to anchor through your core, actually. Leg back to center, reverse the circles. You should feel that in the lower abdomen too. It is a core exercise. Make sure your right leg doesn't move too much. Again, check. Place your right hand on your leg if you're not sure. And it's okay to keep it there. And bring the knee to the chest. Bring the leg back up. And just do just a little bit like we did at the beginning. One more on our hands and knees. The leg is going to one side and the other side, but not too much. Again, you don't want to roll off the balls. Back to center, bring the knee in. Hug your knee to your chest. Inhale. And exhale. And bring the foot down. Open your feet wide and just windshield wiper your legs, your knees. Bring your feet back together. Take the two balls from under, and you probably feel, even though we work on the core, we work on the legs, by doing those leg circles, by placing the two balls under, really helps to release the fascia in our lower back. And you may feel your back is more relaxed to the floor. And to finish, you practice stretch any way you want. So maybe you want to bring your legs straight. Maybe you want to bring your arms over your head, giving yourself a good morning stretch. And bend your knees. Roll to your right side. And push with your hands to come up. And sit any way you want. So I'm going back to cross-legged pose the way. And I could feel now I don't even need my blanket. I do have a blanket underneath me, but I don't really need a block because I feel actually less stiff. That's when I started, which is good. And bring your hands together. So we're rejoicing again on taking the time to take care of ourselves. Thank you. Namaste. See you next time.